And we are, yeah, man. All right, we're here. So, man, I don't know if I have it in me to rant and rave today. My soul
Oh,
hurts a little bit after Friday, but although, it was nice to see the Dallas Cowboys lose to the Carolina Panthers and the Rams lose with, although, before I throw it over to you, because I think this is something I want to circle back to just because I think it fits a theme in general that we've seen with this season is, interestingly enough, while I see a 24/7 cycle on Jalen Hurts throwing an incomplete pass that all quarterbacks throw, it's interesting that I've seen absolutely nothing about Matthew Stafford throwing two picks in three passes, one a pick six, and then also turning it over on a sack fumble later on in the game on an important drive. Three turnovers. What's that? As many as Jalen Hurts all season long, and yet the same people screaming about Hurts are completely silent. And one other thing I want to get Burleson, after Josh Allen throws for fewer yards than James Cook rushes for, praises Josh Allen and talking about how he can put the Buffalo Bills on his back.
mm,
These people are clowns. Every single
mm,
but
mm,
sports media needs to go extinct. Just
mhm,
leave it to the YouTubers.
mhm.
But anyway, BTP, go ahead because I'll end
Uh,
up ranting and
yeah,
raving. I didn't
well,
think I was going to, but then stuff gets into my brain and I'm like, these clowns.
indeed.
Anyway, go ahead, man. Hit me
Now
with
I
it.
now I told you real quick, CDS. I watched a lot of football yesterday.
This is what you're saying. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
watched a lot of football yesterday, and I think where I'm going to go is going to surprise you, and it might surprise some of our viewers. A lot of football. When I mean a lot, CDS, I watched a lot. I watched it all. I watched the Rams Panthers game. I watched the Niners Browns game. The Colts Texans. The Sunday ticket was Sunday ticketing, to say the least, right? It was doing its job, to say the least, yesterday. The Jets game, the Dolphins game, the Bucks game, the Titans Jaguars game, the Seahawks. Like, quarterbacks in this league suck. I don't know what else. I don't know how else to put it. Quarterbacks in this league are absolute trash. From what I
Yes,
saw yesterday, nobody should ever criticize Jalen Hurts because they're all awful. In a
yes.
league of awful quarterbacks, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to see it anymore. CDS,
A
I'm
hundred
watching.
percent agree. A
Like
hundred percent agree.
they are bad, horrid, disgusting, despicable. I'm watching Tua look awful. I'm watching Trevor Lawrence look bad, and he put up 25 points. Bad. Daniel Jones, bad. Cam Ward, bad. Darnold, bad. Minnesota Vikings started a rookie because J.J. McCarthy wasn't playing. J.J. McCarthy's been playing so good that every time somebody plays bad, they use a picture as him to troll that
Dude,
play.
that was I,
That play
that
bad.
that interception he threw for the pick six blew
Oh
my mind,
goodness,
man.
we got Matt Stafford playing bad, Bryce Young, Brock Purdy, Shador. Dude, they're all bad. They are all bad. So in the league of these awful you know what? Give me Jalen Hurts. Give me Jalen Hurts. If this is what we have in this league, CDS, because this has been a season wide issue, and I've touched on it
Yeah, 100%,
every
man.
single time I've touched on it. But yet yesterday I really had time. Like I had time yesterday. Like I'll catch
Yeah,
maybe
and
4 games, 5 games. Yeah, dude. Yesterday I felt like I
it
watched them
hit
all.
you. It hit
Yeah,
you because you
dude. Yeah,
got to sit there and
yeah.
watch it happen in real time.
Absolutely. Like yesterday I watched
Yeah,
them all, and I'm like, dude, they're all awful.
yeah.
All these guys are
This
trash. And I know Rose is
this is
gonna be in here one day. Rose, I know you're gonna come in here soon, dude. Brock Purdy, garbage. Like
this
they're all just
this
garbage.
is what I've been saying, and this is what
Yeah,
I've been talking about in terms of how much the rules of the league today favor quarterbacks, and so they can put up stats, but it's not because they're that good. It's because the league basically allows them to play catch. They almost allow. It's almost like the 7v7 game they'll play in practices,
yeah.
and yet they're still really really bad. And that's why that's what I'm saying about Jalen Hurts. It's like, you understand, we have to compare him to the league.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
league is a really Jalen Hurts can make. I mean, by the way, here's just a stat, just because since we're talking about this, it popped into my head. You know who leads the league in number of touchdown passes from 30 or more yards out?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, the guy who they keep saying can't throw more than 2 yards downfield.
Yeah, I remember
Um,
we did that
so it,
last week. CDS. I mean, dude, it's like it, It's all bad, bro. It's all bad. Don't forget to do the title for
Oh
the
yeah, yeah. Thanks,
flashing
because I
video.
actually thank you because
I
I
mean,
actually did write something out here.
like, am I gonna throw a party because Jordan Love was 18 for 30, not 25 or 30, not 22 or 30, not 23 or 30, 18 for 30, 60? Am I really gonna throw a party for this guy? No, I'm not gonna throw a party for him for his Thanksgiving performance. Um,
Well,
Jared Goff, wow, 20 for 26, 256 yards.
give me
CBS, nothing is. It's just very unimpressive. It's very lackluster. It's very below average. And let me say this in touching on the Jalen Hurts thing, because I know there's with one of those passes to Devontae Smith, win this, win that. Dude, I was watching the Browns 49ers game, and there was tons of wind. Kevin Harlan, every other sentence mentioned the wind, and this just goes to this era of quarterbacks. I have never heard the wind be talked about so much for some bad passes. I
well,
get it. It's windy. I understand it's windy. But dude, every time there's an incompletion, I need to hear Kevin Harlan make excuses about the wind every time. No,
it
dude,
depends on it
it,
depends on who the quarterback is.
it's bad. It's just bad. I don't want to hear it. Let these guys play. When they play bad, they play bad. Stop making excuses for the wind. Oh, it's rainy. Oh, it slipped. It slipped out of his hand. Oh, an angel came out from the sky and grabbed the ball and handed it to the other team. I know these guys, these announcers. I know their job, CDS, is to talk the game up. I know they can't really come right out and say this is horrendous, but it's horrendous, man. It's horrendous. It's horrendous.
Yeah, I am in complete agreement, man. It is ridiculous how they've been playing. And speaking of, I hate to bring it up because it talk about another lightning rod like Jalen Hurts, and that of course is Shador Sanders. If you didn't watch that game, right,
Mm.
you would think listening to the media
Oh yeah.
that he's headed to the Hall of Fame already, and yet he was not good. I mean, I saw there was I think the one touchdown he threw, that ball he threw down the left hand side, the guy caught for, I don't know, around the 10 or 15 yard line.
Yeah, and he fought for the
I
extra yard.
which and it was a nice throw, but the guy was wide open,
Mm-hmm.
and yet the description I've seen passed around from the media on that play talked about the great pass that Shador Sanders threw into a tight window,
Insanity.
like tight window. There was no one within 5 yards of him. How is that a tight window?
Yeah, he started 6 for 9 and he finished 16 for 25. So that's what 7 for the last 15 under 50. I mean,
And do we really even need it? They won't talk about it, of course, but do we really need to talk about his giving himself up completely after 6 yards on a 4th and 26 at the end of the game?
yeah. Well, the I'm not even going to talk about the giving himself up aspect of it. I'm talking to the like the awareness of it all. What makes you think you're running for 26 yards as a quarterback? Dude, you got
Yeah,
to scramble behind the line of scrimmage and continue to uh, make
you got
time,
to
continue to
you got to
stall.
throw it downfield.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for
mean,
some of the guys to get open. Like,
that point from where with his arm, he easily could reach the
oh
end zone
yeah,
if ultimately wanted to just put it up. And plus, um, and I'm not saying that it's a guaranteed, first down or anything then either, but he did have a guy out in the left flat for his check down that nobody was within 20 yards of because, they're obviously playing further downfield. I'm not saying he gets it. It's
Mhm.
difficult, but 4th and 26, not many people do. But it's still a better decision than what Shador Sanders did. Like,
Yeah,
like there were actually a few honest people who said, "I said, look, you have to at least throw the ball. I mean,
yeah,
so what if it's picked off?
yeah. I mean, once you run it, I mean, let's even think about it. Once you run the ball, all of your weapons are at least 10, 15 yards down the field.
Yeah, you're gonna
So
have no blocking.
but you have nobody to even lateral it backwards too. You know what I
No,
mean? Like,
no. And man, look, if you are gonna go,
you better
I
be
have
Lamar. You better be Lamar Jackson
yeah,
or
and
Mike
I've
Vick.
never seen it, and you sure as hell better not give yourself up the way he did.
Yeah,
Like, dude, it's 4th and 26. You can't just lie down because there's
yeah,
a defender within 10 yards of you.
yeah. He didn't try to juke.
He did nothing.
He sat on his
It,
booty.
he gave up long before you first of all, you shouldn't give up at all. It's 4th and 26.
Yeah.
Like you have to accept that you're going to get hit on that play.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave up before anyone even sniffed the man. Like, but and he's another example of the media, how ridiculous they are, and you just can't have honest conversations around certain athletes nowadays. I mean, we've talked about this with other athletes as well. You just can't,
Yeah,
which
no.
is it's a shame.
No, this is
But yeah,
also a problem with buying the NFL here, like the whole ESPN Disney NFL deal.
yes,
It's like
yeah,
these guys just can't give honest criticism because
no, they don't.
their job is just like the announcers now, just to hype up the game and make it seem better than what it really is. Like there's no actually
Yeah, yeah,
unbiased.
that
Yeah,
is the huge problem actually, which isn't talked about enough. When you have uh, a network organization, media, whatever it is, like ESPN, that has rights to showing games, that cannot be the same place where you get your analysis and your opinion shows about the league,
yeah,
because it automatically has to be a bias in it.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there has to be. It's just like they talk about now in general with it's same thing with news, right? Which is talked about. It's not talked about with sports, but with news, right? Like none of these media outlets, it doesn't matter whether they're considered leaning left or right or center or whatever, they're not going to be critical of the companies that pay their bills, like, you know, certain
Oh yeah,
certain
yeah, yeah,
industries that were big the
yeah.
last few years that we know about, that are 90% of the ads on news channels.
Mm,
Those news channels aren't going to be honest about those companies. Those companies keep them in business. Well,
yeah.
this is the same thing. It's got to be separate. It's got to be separate, and it's just simply, it's not. It's concentrated in too few things, and they can't be critical. It's just like reporters in general. Like forget, like to niche it down smaller, and let's say the ones that cover a team locally. Some of them. Now there are ones that are just all they are is they seem to hate their own team, like WIP for Philly, but ones that need access to players for interviews, they're not going to be critical of those
Yep.
players.
Nope.
I mean, they might go up to a certain line, but they'll never cross it because they'll lose access.
Mm, yeah.
So
Yep.
whereas people like, I don't know, you and me, we can't lose anything. Like we're not on ESPN. We're not losing access to interviews with players because we don't have any of that stuff to begin with. And that
Yeah.
whole rant wasn't to actually praise us. That just popped in my head at the last second. I'm like, yeah, wait. I'm like, wait, we don't have any of that stuff.
Yeah. It's dude, there's no honesty. Maybe Tom Brady's the closest you can get. Maybe the Monday night guys, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, are the closest that you'll get to like criticizing referees and things along those lines.
Yeah,
But man,
yeah, they're pretty
the,
good.
the,
I
the
think. Well,
story the story today should be, why does the quarterbacks in this league suck, and how do we fix that? Dude, that should be the number one
oh, I
story today.
we.
Why is the
I'll
quarterback
tell
play
you.
so bad? Oh, we talk about it all the time. The development's garbage, whether it's
Yeah,
college, whether it's in the pros, whether it's even
yeah.
high school, or the seven
We've
on
talked
seven
about this before,
nonsense.
and that's the problem. And here to be fair
Well, that needs to be talked
to
about in the media, not just amongst, because it's never going
oh
to
I
get better
know.
unless they talk about it, dude. Like we could be talking about it until our
or
faces turn
we
blue.
or we get big enough. Don't forget,
Yeah, yeah, dude.
we could get big enough that they have to hear us.
CDS, like, yeah, Chris Bruce, college football has ruined the NFL now. That's where I'm watching these guys yesterday, and nobody is making me say, "Wow, yeah, Stafford had a bad game." Let's just put Stafford to the side. Did watching Bryce Young make me say, "Oh my God, Bryce Young's really the next one up"? No. Did watching Justin Herbert get injured in the first 5 seconds? Justin Herbert's always injured, it seems like. Justin Herbert, being so big and brolic that he is, dude can't stay healthy either. He's always missing a game here and a game there, getting nicked up here, getting dinged up there. At least Josh Allen, to his credit, what did they say yesterday? 111 consecutive starts? At least this dude's going to be under center. Man, I am watching Trevor Lawrence. They scored 26 points. Big whoop. He looked bad. Like that's the problem. They're scoring 26 points despite the quarterback play. Cam Ward, the number one pick in the draft. Now I know you hate when we get on these rookie quarterbacks too early, but dude, CDS, I shit you not. If I was to take off his pads if I was to take off his jersey and put it on myself, put on his pads and his jersey, you'd be like, damn, Cam Ward's not really doing too much. No, not even knowing that it's actually me under there. You'd be like, damn, there's Cam Ward having another sub. Dude, it's just not good. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua, dude. It's like they're just all average and below going up against what the hell is his name? Matthew Show for the for the New Orleans Saints. It's like, who? Matthew? Mad who? Kirk Cousins. Kirk, what happened to you, Kirk? Like looking like Captain Kirk over there with the Atlanta Falcons. Tyrod Taylor might have had one of the better quarterback games yesterday, and it was like, dude, this is really what it's come to, huh? And I know Tyrod Taylor was a Pro Bowler quarterback in Buffalo, but we're talking 11 years ago. This was like, damn, this is really what it's come to, huh? Damn. You know what, Chris Bruce? They've taken they've gotten so impatient that now it seems like more than 2/3. Now it seems like 75% of the quarterbacks aren't up to snuff. Not like 33%, 40%. It seems like 75% of these guys are just awful.
But you can't complain about the problem and then dismiss the reason for the problem, which you kind of did with Cam Ward. And as somebody says right here, which I agree with, the problem is if you look back, what's that?
I just talked about this comment. I just mentioned it.
But that's what I'm saying, and you dismissed it by going after Cam Ward, and we've talked about this before. There's no development in the NFL. That's what people are not understanding and missing. Like whether set aside the media stuff with Shedeur Sanders and how they're playing him up. I have a problem with them pretending how good he was yesterday. I don't have a problem with his performance because guess what?
I'm saying that there's no time for development. I agree with that. There's no time for development, so much to the point where now it's like 75% of the league seems underdeveloped. Like I mentioned a rookie. Okay, take Cam Ward out of there. I named tons of other players who's had multiple times in this league. Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy, multiple guys who've had time in this league. Kirk Cousins. It's like, dude.
Hold on. There's a huge difference.
Now they all look underdeveloped.
No, there's a difference.
They all look underdeveloped, is what I'm saying.
But there's a difference between time in the league and development. They're not the same thing. They're not. They don't do any development. They draft them and they throw them out there and they have them drop back and throw 40 times a game.
We're saying the
same thing. That's not development.
I'm saying, yes, listen to me. Instead of trying to combat me, listen. Even though they've spent so much time in the league, they're not developing. That's what I'm saying. On top of even though they've been in this league 5, 6, 7 years, they're still not developing.
And my point is, people are being critical of them, but not allowing them to develop. That's what I'm saying. If I finish what I was saying about Shedeur Sanders, set aside how he was ridiculously praised because he shouldn't have.
Forget the rookies. Forget the rookies.
We do it, but you can't forget the rookies.
But you just said, guys, they're rookies. Let's not jump down their throats. Give them time. Okay, then forget them. I agree. Forget it. Let's talk about Trevor Lawrence. Why does he look awful? Because they're not developed. Tua, why does Tua look bad? Because he's not developed.
I give up, man.
They're not developed. They don't look good. Trevor Lawrence has had tons of time on the Jacksonville Jaguars. He still looks Tua has had tons of times with the Dolphins. He still looks It might depend on the organization, Rhodes. It has to. Because only a few guys actually look like they get better year after year after year. 5 guys, 6 guys, maybe. Justin Herbert doesn't look like he gets better year after year. He doesn't. Justin Fields didn't look better year after year. Didn't look that good under Tomlin, and here he is with the Jets. Now he wants out of New York because Aaron Glenn sat him down. It's Aaron Glenn's fault, Justin Fields? Is it? Geno Smith. damn near the same Geno that he was in New York. He had a few good seasons with Seattle, and now we're back to the means. Who should want the UFL?
Who should want the UFL?
Justin Fields. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Rose, you watch college football. You saw them this weekend on college football talking about these Florida State quarterbacks saying,
Oh,
guys, these guys just
Rose, thank
aren't
you, sir.
these guys just aren't good enough.
Appreciate it, man. Um,
That's what they should be
Ju-
saying, Rose. They said these guys aren't good enough. They should want to go play Canadian football. That's the problem. People are
Justin
not ready going to playing NFL when they should be playing CFL. I agree.
Justin Fields is, to me, and this is a whole nother issue because it also goes to scouting. And look, ultimately you don't know, but you can make educated guesses, or you hope people in the league for a long time can. But Justin Fields is a guy that, to me, like, and I loved him as a college player, but let's be fair, like a Tim Tebow or like a Vince Young, who was someone who could be a great college quarterback. A great college quarterback and a great NFL quarterback are not necessarily, they're not, I shouldn't say they're not necessarily. You can be both, but they aren't the same thing. They're not an equivalent. And there are a lot of college players who look great because they have a really strong arm, and maybe they're really athletic, but they play for a program where they have 75 seconds to stand in a clean pocket, where their receivers are infinitely better than 99.99% of the cornerbacks they play, and they get open by measured by multiple yards, not multiple inches. And you just have to throw it in their vicinity and you rack up big numbers. But that doesn't make you an NFL quarterback, man. And a lot of these guys that get drafted are not NFL quarterbacks. But again, they get put into a rookie year, they get thrown out there, and they are asked to drop back 35 or 40 times, and they're asked to play an offense with multiple route options and all this other stuff, and they're just trying to survive, and they're not put in a situation where they have a good quarterback coach, maybe a good offensive coordinator, a good head coach, an Andy Reid type, a Kyle Shanahan type, who can resurrect careers. Because to that point, I think you mentioned it, Ben, or you mentioned it in relation to what Rote said about organization too. And there are very few good ones of those, but we've seen it over time. If you go back far enough with certain quarterbacks, where they just don't seem to have made it in the NFL, and then they play for a Kyle Shanahan, a Andy Reid, when they go back to a Mike Holmgren and guys like that, and all of a sudden they look like completely different quarterbacks. So, there are a whole lot of factors in play. They're drafting guys that are college quarterbacks, not pro quarterbacks, but throwing them out there. All the guys they're drafting, even if they could be NFL quarterbacks, are not getting developed. There aren't any organizations with any patience to develop quarterbacks. And most of them, there aren't enough good quarterback developers around the league. I'm done.
No, dude, it's gotta be organization specific because how can, dude, we both watch. Jalen Hurts came to the league, looked like he was pushing the ball at times. I don't see that anymore. I see the same thing every year with Justin Herbert. So where's Harbaugh and this development with Justin Herbert? Where is he at?
Yeah. By the way, you made a great point. I don't want that to be in passing, because I think you said Hurts, right, about the pushing.
Yeah, dude, we
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about it.
That's a great point, because that should be brought up more often. All quarterbacks have deficiencies. Are there things Jalen Hurts can improve upon? Yes. I just never have time to talk about him because of all the hate he gets for the wrong things. But to your point, and I think this goes to partly the organization, but actually I think it's more toward Jalen Hurts himself. He constantly works on the things he doesn't do well to get better at them. And to be fair, now I know you mentioned guys that have been in the league a while, like a Trevor Lawrence, but I think there are also guys that may be like that, but they don't get the time because they're thrown out before they're ready. It's a disaster, and then they never really get a shot anywhere again as a starter and given time to keep going. Which is what I was trying to say. Just to go back to the rookies for a second because I want to be clear of this with Shedeur Sanders. When I've talked about how he's playing, I'm really being critical of the way the media is portraying his performance. The dude's a rookie with his second start. I have no problem whatsoever with how he played in that respect. You know what I mean? Like, you got to give the guy time to develop and be, 3 years from now, he might be a great quarterback. You can't tell either way based on yesterday. And to be overly critical is ridiculous. My response is to the media, how they're making him look like he was a Hall of Famer based on yesterday, which is absurd. But.
No, absolutely. The thing is with Shedeur Sanders and why a lot of people are so critical of him is because he did the LeBron James and said, "My son Bronny's better than half the people in this league." And Shedeur Sanders came out and said, "I'm better than half the quarterbacks in this league." He's like, dude,
yeah.
You can't ask. You know what I mean? At some point, you can't ask for it. But
you're 100%.
Rhodes, you missed me shitting on Brock Purdy, dude. I mean, the quarterback play in that game was awful. You would have thought that it was me versus Chicks underneath center yesterday. That's how bad it was. And you wouldn't even know the difference. You wouldn't even know the difference.
Yeah, that's a good point, Rhodes. I mean, there's an example of how specific it can be. Geno under Chip Kelly. The only guy in the pros I've seen blossom under Chip Kelly was Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
Oddly enough.
The one-handed little assassin.
You remember what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
That was under Chip Kelly, but that's the only quarterback I've seen blossom under Chip Kelly. He's kind of been
Nick Foles.
disaster.
What he went and took Rams money, right? And that was
Rams. And then pretty early on, he got a concussion, and it's so odd that after that, he never really seemed to get a full-on chance where he was healthy for a season. The team was healthy for a season. It was so bizarre. And then he comes back and wins the Super Bowl.
Did he have a chance with Jacksonville?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have to remember. I think sort of maybe.
No, I know what you're saying, but I think that's the only one season where they tried to get. I think that's it. To be honest, I agree.
I don't think he completed a season, right?
I don't believe so. I don't. Think so.
It's a good question.
And they transferred maybe to Minshew.
Yeah.
I don't.
But it was just bizarre that he just never really seemed to be healthy on a team that was healthy that was not complete trash.
Yeah. He got hurt in Jacksonville.
Kind of to be fair to Justin Fields or any quarterback that's been there, it's kind of like going to the Jets right now, right? What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? Thank you. Chris says he got hurt in Jacksonville. That's what I thought. But he did play a little bit, to Ben's point.
You know what's crazy, man? And I see people give him so much shit. I don't think people really respect how great of a job Rex Ryan did with the Jets. I know
I like Rex Ryan.
Dude, I know he was loud and braggadocious, and now he's got this personality on TV. I get it. But when you see every other regime coming after him, do nothing for over a decade and a half at this point, you have to say something Rex did really galvanize the troops. And the Jets have had some pretty solid defenses in the meantime. They've had a lot of guys on their defense. They just never had, what was it? Salah's first year, they were saying that they have one of the top-ranked defenses. You have to think that at least he's going to get that out of the guys and just, you know what, all right, we're just going to pound the ball, do exactly what he did, run the ball and play defense. It works. And then especially in this era with the quarterback play so shaky, dude, what would Mark Sanchez be, right? Mark Sanchez would be another one of these guys that gets 7, 8, 9 years and just look, Yeah. NFL Bailey needs a developmental league.
Didn't
Rhodes, I think
Didn't Mark Sanchez go to the AFC Championship his first 2 seasons?
His first 2 seasons or his second and third year, but very early on.
Yeah. Because I remember it was a first, I think.
Very brief. But to Roach's point, Cedas, I think what ruins it also is all this NIL money these kids get, dude. They have no incentive to get better. They're already millionaires coming into the league.
No, that's 100% true.
That's probably the biggest deal. That's probably the biggest deal, man.
That's
Dude, I'm a
Yeah,
millionaire.
see,
What am I doing talking to a developmental coach?
yeah, it is a huge problem, and it's one I have a tough time with because I don't care anyone. If it's legitimate and legal, go make as much money as you want. But when it comes to sports, like you're saying, Ben, we're all human. And when you give a guy, like you said, when he's coming out of college and he's already a millionaire,
Yeah,
or he jumps into the NFL and you're giving him 10 million a season for 3 years guaranteed, like human nature is, well, I don't need to work. I mean, what's going to happen to me? I mean, they're going to cut me. I still have my 10 million a year, and they're not going to cut me anyway because it's too embarrassing for them. Which, by the way, to your point, Ben, going back a little bit to answer your question, way after the fact, is I think that's why they're also it's a balance because you need to develop players, which um, Aaron Rodgers, the way he came in, Jordan Love, not that Jordan Love's playing great, but I'm saying the way it was done with those guys, I
yeah,
think is the right
sick.
way. But Trevor Lawrence was the point I was getting to, and I just completely lost. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was as high as a high pick can be, right? You're not going to move on nearly as quickly as if if Trevor Lawrence had been, say, a fourth round pick. You see what I mean? Like, and that's where I get to that embarrassment thing with teams and stuff. But if you draft the quarterback number one overall, that is the longest leash in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, shoot.
and I agree with Rhodes too. By the way, I think all leagues do. That's just because college is not going to be it now with all the changes and the transfer portal and the NIL money, like Ben's saying. It's just not where the players are learning skills, man. They're just they're winning by their sheer athleticism. They're making their cash, and that is what it is. I mean, I look at the NBA and I'm like, my God, these guys can't even dribble nowadays.
Well, even now, with speaking about quarterback development, I mean, these guys aren't even allowed to really practice as much as they used to back in the day. Like
No, not even
within the
close.
rules, like the rules don't even allow them to get
No, you're right.
in
Well,
X amount of work.
and that's one of the reasons to that point, that tackling is so bad in the
Yeah,
NFL now. I mean,
yeah,
it's never practiced. It's never practiced.
yeah.
But
Well, it's because Rhodes. It's because they see these guys in compression shorts and a compression shirt look big and strong and fast, and maybe throw a good ball here and a good ball there. The same thing that you put, and they say, "Oh my God, he looks beautiful in this NFL combine here. Oh, let's just shoot him up the draft stock." Dude, Zach Wilson
well,
made two nice
yeah,
throws in the combine, and that's why the Jets picked him that high. Trey Lance looks
yeah.
good, and that's why he was picked that high.
Well, again, there's another great example of a great college quarterback, and not having enough knowledgeable people in the NFL to understand he's a great college quarterback. And to your point for the NFL Combine, I just have to point it out because I think it's like the poster boy for that, and he was an Eagle, and that's Mike Mamula. Mike Mamula, defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the biggest busts in sports when he was picked because he wasn't really a name as a high pick at all until the NFL Combine, and he did all the right things. He sprinted fast enough. He had a high enough vertical and all that, and that's why he was picked, and he was a complete and total bust. But
Bro, since you're joining
we
us late, let me just let you know how we got here. I saw so much football yesterday that I've come to the determination I never want to hear anybody talk bad about Jalen Hurts again because the rest of the league is god awful quarterback play. So I don't want to hear it anymore.
yeah, Ben finally caught up to the
I
quarterbacks in the NFL are trash.
No, it's not that I caught up to it. It's that I'm going to stop saying I'm going to stop comparing Jalen Hurts to some of these guys because he doesn't deserve it. That's what I've come to. I've always said that they're awful, but I've seen so much where it's like, guys, I don't even want to hear anybody criticize Jalen Hurts anymore. That's how bad it is. Like that's how bad it is, CDS. Like I don't want to hear you guys say anything negative about Jalen Hurts. He misses a pass, whatever. Don't care. He overthrows a guy, whatever. Throws an interception, cool.
Yeah,
Get sacked, fine. Do you see
to
everybody
that,
else in this league? The other 27 guys, the other 30
well,
guys, they're all
yeah,
awful.
and forget all of them. To your point, Ben, and we
Indeed, Chris Bruce.
die every quarterback that these media experts keep telling us are way better than Jalen Hurts. And how did they play yesterday? They were all trash.
Yeah, it's like,
But we're not going to hear about
dude,
it.
7 weeks ago, Baker Mayfield. Oh my God, Baker Mayfield. Stop it. Cut it out. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore. I can't hear it anymore, CD. I just can't hear it anymore. I can't.
We got to get back to the Eagles a little bit, man. I don't even think we touched on the Eagles at all. But one thing I want to talk about with them that really, really concerns me with any team, and you know this, Ben, being an Eagles fan, especially with Philly, because it's just how Philly is. The athletes that we love, that we have, that we don't turn on, those two guys, besides the fact that they understand and embrace the fan culture in Philly, is they're 100% all the time, right? Whether it's Brian Dawkins, Allen Iverson, guys like that. I watched that game Friday, and then I listened to Seth Joyner earlier today say the same thing that I was thinking. It sure looked like a lot of guys out there, Ben, just flat out quit. There was no heart. There was no effort. There was no grit. And you simply cannot play in this city like that. It was embarrassing what I saw out there. Guys like Seth said about Dickerson one time, guys not holding their blocks throughout, like just stopping, receivers not running routes with effort, like the whole thing. And it's just, it goes back to kind of what we were just hitting on with the money they make, right? Because what are you going to do to them? But I just, as a Philly guy, I cannot be supporting and rooting for a team when the issue is effort, man. Just that it's appalling.
Yeah, no, Rose, I agree. I mean, Matt Stafford had one bad, but that's, to your point, that's an outlier. Like, that's one good quarterback that had a bad game amongst a bunch of not good quarterbacks not having good games. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just one guy. CDS. Did the team quit?
Not everybody. I'm not everybody, but it sure looked like a lot of guys were going through the motions.
Now, you know what? I'm not gonna say I saw them quit, but I'm going to back up your point by saying this. Ever since that Rams game, Chicks, I've never seen somebody dominate us on the run since then. And it could be back-to-back games of this. It's like, guys, as the game goes on, the Cowboys run the ball better on our defense? Interesting. Why is that? Not exactly sure. The Bears follow up a week later, running the ball all over our defense. Why? Not really too sure. The only reason I can give you, CDS, is their hearts just aren't in it enough to stop the run.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Because
I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I can say.
Obviously, talent plays a huge role, but we know we have talented guys on defense. And like you said, more so than the passing game, stopping the run, there's a lot of heart involved, a lot of effort involved, a lot of keeping the legs moved, a lot of fighting off blocks. And to that point, like we talked about Jahad Campbell, like not even playing at all. And look, his weakness as a rookie is he's much better in the pass game than the run game. Okay, so I'm not even saying he should have been it, but can you tell me a linebacker that played, other than, I will say, Jalix Hunt's athletic play on the interception on the screen pass, but in terms of like the run game, can you name a linebacker that had any type of positive impact for the Eagles in that game?
No, I mean, CDS, at some point, you just got to pull a guy out to let him know I can pull you out.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris, I agree, Chris. The defense gave the offense tons of chances. I'm sure we're going to get to that.
Oh, yeah. Look, man.
Yeah, but Chris Bruce, don't worry. A.J. Brown had his targets. He's a happy camper. He's happy that I'm picking shit. I say this week after week after week after week. Fuck A.J. Brown. You're not T.O. I'm tired of your bullshit. Clearly, Seth Joyner even pointed this out, CDS. Back-to-back games, he has his targets. He's happy that I'm picking shit. Don't hear a peep from A.J. Brown. Dude, get this guy off my damn team.
What I say now, they are –
sorry.
I'm not sure about the fourth game, but they are at the very least 0-3 now when they overly target AJ Brown. For what it's worth, that just that is what it is. They're 0-3 when they target AJ Brown. But here's the thing, and this is what I think we have to brace ourselves for, because we're all talking about all the things that do need changing. And I watch the routes being run and all this, and again, it's if you really look into it, look at the all 22 and everything else. The play calling, the play design, okay, they're two different things. The play calling is obviously what play comes after this play, and but just the plays themselves, the route running by this offense is horrific. I don't understand how Jalen Hurts completes any passes because the defense knows what we're running. I saw one play where as soon as the ball was snapped, because they were playing off, a cornerback for the Bears just all out complete sprint at AJ Brown. Right now, think about that. That's risky because if AJ Brown's not staying there for a screen or whatever, you're done. But guess what? That's exactly what it was, and he tackles him for no gain. They know our plays. We're going to have four receivers run out 6 yards and turn around and stand there. This time, and here's the point that I'm getting to, because I know we've said this, but we have to accept that at this point. We'll still keep complaining, but we kind of have to accept it and hope that the talent wins out, because just today again, Nick Sirianni said, "Oh, there's no problem with the play call," and we're not getting, we're not changing that. Kevin, I have all the confidence in the world in Kevin. He's going to keep calling the stuff I'm giving him to call. Oh no, I mean the stuff that he's calling. Look, Nick Sirianni is calling these plays. He's trash at calling these plays. He was trash when he did it for the Eagles in 21. He never called plays before he got here, for those that don't know, because it's talked about like he did in Indy. He didn't. The man didn't call plays. He was not involved in that way. He's not a good play caller. It's his offense. He has said it repeatedly, no matter who the offensive coordinator is, it is ultimately his offense that's being run. He has an offensive philosophy in the NFL that cannot win. The Eagles win because they have had so much talent that they win despite the play calling. And right now, they don't have that advantage for whatever reason. Maybe they all got fat and slow in the offseason after winning the Super Bowl. I don't know. But by the way, last thing I'll add before I throw it back to you, Ben. Tyler Steen, fourth. Landon Dickerson, ninth in the league in most pressures allowed. Our offensive line, we've got to stop pretending they're even average at this point. The offensive line is absolutely abysmal right now. I've given Saquon Barkley criticism because I think it's valid, but that doesn't take away from how bad it is with the offensive line as well. And the same for Jalen Hurts, obviously, right? I mean, they're not pass protecting well either. But anyway, I'm going to toss it back to you, man. I mean, did I miss anything? Am I
No, I mean,
am I wrong about that?
I mean, no, you didn't miss anything. I mean, you didn't miss anything. I mean, dude, those first two drives of the ball that sailed, whether it was the wind, whether it was a bad throw, whatever, can't happen. Then the ball behind Devontae Smith, whether it was the wind, whether it was a bad throw, can't happen.
Well, I don't think it was either, actually, on that one. I don't think it was either.
Yeah, but
I think it was.
I've been watching
Now,
some comments. See,
I'm not
if
absolving.
if these guys aren't on the same page,
Well,
however
that's
long
it, and
they
that's a
played,
problem too. That's why I'm
however
saying
long
I'm
they
not
played with each
absolving
other, like, dude,
Jalen for that, but because maybe he was in the wrong. But
take it easy, Rose.
I think it was take it easy. And I just sent him the link too. Oh well, maybe next time, big guy. Yeah, that's a problem. There's but then again, it's like by a country mile, the Eagles lead the league in hitch routes.
Yeah, dude.
So
I'm
it's
just
like
tired of seeing this team lose leads, man. I'm still pissed about the Cowboys loss. Like, how are we up 21-0 and lose that game?
it's inexcusable.
That game might have that might have been the nail in the coffin this season. That game might have been the nail in the Eagles' coffin.
I think that did. I
Took
think
their
that
soul.
a lot of. Oh yeah, I think that did a lot. Well,
Just
and I think that may partly play into what
shank
I was
something.
saying about whether or not they quit on Friday. I think they still had that Cowboys game in their head. they're like, I mean, we get up 21-0 and we can't win. What are we supposed to,
Yeah, Chris Bruce.
You know what though?
I fucking hate AJ Brown, Chris Bruce.
I don't know what's worse, man.
I can't.
Getting up 21-0 on the first 3 drives and losing, or getting up 21-0 on the first 3 drives and never scoring again, right? It's not like they lost 37-35.
Yeah,
right?
We'll go with never scoring again.
That's we were 3 minutes into the second quarter when we had our 21 points, and then we never scored again. Not even a field goal, which in this NFL, now that they can all keep their own kicking balls and everything, it's like a 55-yarder becomes routine. How do you not at least get a field goal? I mean, you don't have to drive very far.
Oh, my God. Jake Elliott, dude. You didn't even...
I knew we were going to go there.
Dude, Jake Elliott, bro.
I wanted to talk about that.
Jake Elliott is washed. Well done. Cooked. He's done. Bring in somebody else. Go find somebody else.
Now here's
the fact that I used to even use this guy's name and Dave Akers in the same sentence is criminal to me, and I should go jump off a bridge and drink bleach in the meantime because of it. Yeah, dude, Jake Elliott, bro. I don't even feel comfortable if it's a 40-yard plus field goal. I don't even feel comfortable watching this guy walk on the field. If it's a 4th and 3 and a 40-yard field goal, I don't even feel good about it.
You know what's crazy is I actually feel more comfortable with him attempting a 50-yard plus field goal than I do an extra point. Bizarrely, because that just, I mean, it's weird, but that's the vibe I get from him. But now to that point.
Shave your beard, bro. Do something, Jake Elliott. Do something, man. You got to switch stuff, buddy.
We have to talk about this because it has been everywhere, and people are losing their minds, and, Greg Olsen are falling on their sword and this and that, and that is the decision to go for 2 on the first touchdown when they were down 9, understanding that there are only 3 minutes left. They cannot stop the Bears' running game, okay? And the new rules, or maybe they're not really as new now, but for the entire NFL's history, they're new. Well, they even actually tweaked them again, so they are. It's almost impossible to recover an onside kick. You have all 3 timeouts, and you have the 2-minute warning. I do not care what some ridiculous analytics thing says that, by the way, doesn't take into consideration all the stuff I just mentioned. It just goes by the numbers of the score and so forth. Absolutely, for me, because it changes so much, you kick the extra point. Now, I know, Ben, in the back of your head, you're thinking, yeah, but it's Jake fucking Elliott. But come on, you kick the extra point, you go down 8. Now you have over 3 minutes left. You've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, and you need to get another touchdown. And then I know people like Greg Olsen say, well, no, that's still 2 scores because you got to get the 2. Yes, it is. But that second score is given to you automatically to attempt from the 2-yard line. You don't have to get the ball back. No time comes off the clock.
It at least gives you the ability to make it a
exactly.
It's a one-score game.
You get the opportunity. It's not once you're down 9, you're cooked, you're done, you're toast. That's it. It's over. And it changes everything. And by the way, I think that also impacts the play calling of the other team. When they get the ball back knowing they're only up 8 as opposed to 9, that changes what they are going to do. The defense, knowing that you've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, and you only have to get the ball back once. You don't have to recover an onside kick. That changes how you are going to play. I do not care what dry analytics say. I'm not sure they're actually right anyway. I think some people are tweaking that to make a point. But I should have asked you how you thought about it first, because obviously I just gave my whole debate performance on it. But I don't know. Do you disagree? I mean, I don't understand that decision to go for the first touchdown.
Yeah, that's amateur. That's amateur. I don't know why even Greg Olsen would even make it seem like it's still a 2-possession game if you make the extra point. No, it's not. Now it's a 2-possession when he missed the 2-point conversion.
Right.
Now it's definitely a 2-possession game.
Yeah.
But 8 points in my mind is still 1 possession.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, you get
Yeah,
the
that's just
opportunity to tie it. Now, the percentage is less on a 2-pointer than an extra point for sure, but you still get the opportunity to tie it on that one possession.
yeah, that's just your pride.
Yeah, well, Greg Olson, he tweeted out one of those, the kind, because and we've probably both done it too. It's where you make a definitive statement and basically say, hey, there's no debate. Anyone who thinks differently on this is a complete idiot. That's
Mhm.
kind of what Greg Olson pointed out about supporting the decision. And then of course he got a lot of pushback. So after saying there's no debate, it seemed like he spent hours and hours
Debating
trying
it.
to convince people why he was right.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I don't understand that. You want to keep playing the game, kick the extra point. You only need, and here's why it's not 2 possessions, Greg, because you only have to get the ball back one time, right? You may need, yes, a touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion is less chance of getting that than an extra point, but you only have to get the ball back one time, not 2 times in 3 minutes. I mean, I don't
I,
understand that
I
decision.
agree. Chris Bruce, if you're still here, Chris Bruce, I got a question for you. I got a question for you too, CDS. Why can't we stop the run game, man? Like, how do we go from looking like world beaters against the Lions and the Packers, and we get ran all
Um,
over by the Cowboys and stomped out by the Bears?
yeah, I
And it's
think,
not like a small pendulum either. It's like a
yeah.
massive swing on the pendulum.
Um, I mean, I think there's probably multiple reasons. One I'd say is one thing I noticed with Jalen Carter is three things are happening with Jalen Carter. He's either getting held and it's not called. It happens a lot. I think he may be the most held player in the NFL in relation to not getting the holding call, or or he's making a big play, or he's taking the play off
Mm.
with a lack of effort, which I see more in the run game with him than the passing game. Also, to be fair, at least I'd have to go back and look at Dallas, but at least with Chicago and what I saw, some of it, I'm going to put it on someone hire Ben Johnson for me and get him to Philadelphia, because some of the schemes that he ran in the run game, like the tight end coming across in motion and then cracking back on the middle linebacker, like it messed us up. I mean, we just had no answer for some of the things that they were doing schematically with their blocking scheme. And our linebackers were, their guys were able to easily get to our second level. And I mean, our linebackers were a complete non-factor, man. And our linebacking core is good. I mean, they're not all of a sudden bad,
Yeah. At this
you
point, get
know.
Howie and Jeffrey out of here. You know what, Chris Bruce? Bring in Doug Peterson as an offensive consultant, and let's try to establish this season.
Okay. Oh man, I want to bring this up because I'm curious. I'm curious what you'll say about this, Ben. I'm curious what those in the comments say, because it's out of pocket for sure. Like it's not. That's probably not even the right phrase, but it's unusual, and it goes against kind of one of the big things I've been saying about Kevin Patullo, and that is him not calling plays
Dude,
before.
did you see fans allegedly threw rocks at his house?
No, really. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but dude, come on, that's not even fair to blame that on Philly. You get some drunk, passionate
Throwing
fans,
rocks
and
at his house. That's
uh,
hysterical.
well, they thought he was Santa Claus. Uh, what I was going to say, in things I've been listening to lately from him, and again, one of those guys in Philly that has a free pass for life. How about we hire Nick Foles as the offensive coordinator next
Oh
year?
yeah, I've been seeing that thrown out.
Right? I
I mean,
mean, I liked a
at
lot of
this
what he
point,
said.
why not? Like, what? Who
Well, that's what I'm
why
saying.
not at this
Like,
point?
I mean, let's face it.
Dude,
Let's
Doug
face it.
Peterson or Mike McDaniel. If it's neither of those guys,
Yeah,
then whatever.
the Philly special was called by Nick Foles. Let's not forget, right?
Mhm.
Like he called that play. I'm just throwing it out there because at
Yeah,
this point, with what we've been through, with the some of the guys that Nick has hired, I think it would be interesting. I'm not sold, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I
But
don't
I
know.
like your point, Doug or Mike.
Dude,
You know,
get somebody.
legitimately,
Ready? Get somebody else in. That's
yeah.
and
But
then get somebody
here's
else
the
in.
key
Yeah,
with
with
that,
whoever,
though.
man.
You get somebody else
Oh
in, but you have to get
shit!
somebody else in that is going to have autonomy with the offense. It can't be they got to run stuff within Nick Sirianni's philosophy because his
Yeah,
philosophy is no good,
yeah. Bringing their
right?
own tree. Yeah, bringing their own
You know,
tree.
because that's what people are have been digging up recently was stuff Nick said, and I think I touched on it earlier that he's talked about that it doesn't really matter who the offensive coordinator Nick has said because the offensive philosophy is his. It's his offense. You know, like the offensive coordinators may be calling individual plays, but it's Nick's offense, which is the point I've been kind of making. So whoever we bring in, it has to be Nick has to stay away from it,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, I wouldn't
You
even
know,
mind.
kind of like offensive minded head coaches, you know, guys who maybe were offensive coordinators, they stay away from the defense if they're smart, right? They let
Yeah,
their DC run it.
yeah. I mean, go out and go poach somebody. Go poach somebody from maybe an A&M or a Texas Tech. If you're not gonna hire from somebody within the pro ranks, go out and get one of these high potent offenses in college football, and you see what they can do. Cliff Kingsbury, he's not a head coach, but I'm sure he could scheme some nice plays on the offensive side of the ball. They don't have any weapons over there in Arizona.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
And
that's the thing.
people are talking about trying to entice Frank Reich to come back, but I don't know. He's in a good situation,
Yeah,
man. I don't see
Patullo's
it.
been so bad. It's like anybody would be better at this point. Like, go get the number one Madden player and let him call plays, and I'm sure it would be a little bit better. But again, to your point, it's not necessarily play call; it's the play design. And if all of your plays are
Yes,
designed trash, then of course all the play calls are going to be bad. You
right.
know, if they're all bad, if they're all bad plays to begin with, then it doesn't really matter what you call now, does it?
Yeah, and to that point, I'm trying to think when the play was. There was a play in the game where they ran Dallas Goddard in motion right to left, and with the timing of the play, and I think this again is partly on the OC, not even necessarily for play design, but we've all talked about how the plays get in too late, right? And they get to the line, and Jalen can't even make pre-snap reads or adjustments because there's no time,
Mm.
and because of the timing, because of all that was so bad, when the ball was snapped, Dallas Goddard hadn't gotten completely free yet on his going in motion. Mailata stepped back
You know what they need to
and
do?
tripped over Dallas Goddard behind him. And then, of course, the guy he was supposed to block goes around the other way, comes through the middle, and pressures Jalen Hurts, who rolls out and has to throw the ball away.
I found a solution actually. Keeping Kevin Patullo, and I think I may have found a solution or something that they should at least try because he is a first-time play caller.
I suspect
No,
sarcasm.
no, no, no. This is actually seriousness right here. Put him in the booth.
Yeah, I've seen
Maybe
that a
he's
few times
taking
from
so
people.
long. Maybe he's taking so long seeing what the defense is putting in. He's just taking long to process it all from across the field. Maybe if you just put him in the booth, he has a bird's eye view. He can actually watch the game a little bit better and kind of judge it better than sitting on the side. That's the only thing that I have, CDS. Put him in the
Yeah,
booth and see what he can do from the booth.
yeah, I get that because like it is definitely I think a better view for because I mean think about it as an offensive coordinator if you're watching film right if you're breaking down the opposing team you're not watching it from the
The sideline,
sideline
yeah, you're
view
watching
like the
from the booth.
coaches have yeah
Yeah.
and to that point by the way and I didn't come up with this I'd give credit but I don't remember where I first saw it here's another great example of that and this is the type of stuff we don't get with the Eagles um, first of all on the fumble on the tush push as you know people pointed out we changed the way we were running it from recently to where the guys pushing from the side were no longer there. They would normally there would have been like Saquon Barkley would have been where that player came around and took the ball
Hmm,
from Jalen
hmm,
Hurts. So
hmm,
that is
hmm.
poor. But here's also this.
I didn't notice that. It's good. It's a good
Here's
call out.
also here's also this.
Hmm.
The other teams got all these big bodies out there, right? Now we go a little bigger as well, but again, we've still got skill players on the field, right? Usually it's like a Devontae Smith or Dallas Goddard. So Saquon Barkley snapped, go spread offense.
Oh, right
Don't
before
run
we
the
snap
tush
it.
push.
Yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah,
that?
yeah. Yeah, right
Go
before.
spread.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Line up in the tush push and then just
Yes.
audible into a different formation.
Into
Yeah.
into a spread offense at the end, and they've got nothing but big bodies out
How
there,
about
man.
this,
It's a
CDS? How about this?
mismatch.
How about this? Dude, we saw them fake a tush push and give it to Saquon
Oh
once.
yeah, and it was great.
Oh my gosh, this works so good. We're never going to use it again. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Exactly. They
Great
do
idea.
that a lot. But
That's
and
brilliant.
that's
That's
what it
brilliant,
is.
folks. That's absolutely brilliant.
Even before the fumble happened, when they came out and lined up in the tush push, I was looking at that and I'm like, they're getting a little carried away. It was like 3rd and 2.5. I'm like, I don't know that that's really tush push distance.
It's yeah.
But
Throw in the
yeah, man,
booth.
I would love to see them go up there and well,
Yeah,
either
throw in
one,
the damn booth.
run something different, like you said, the way they gave it to Saquon and never did it again, or go spread at the last second because the
Yeah,
defense does not have the defense,
personnel on there. No,
right?
yeah, absolutely. You're
They
right.
don't have that personnel to match up because
Yeah, yeah.
again, like I said, when we run the tush push, we usually have skill guys like Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley pushing. So boom, put them out wide immediately. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I look at the defense's personnel and the against our tush, I'd be pretty happy with all three of those guys out wide and throwing the ball.
Chris Bruce, dude. If I see AJ Brown fall star one more time,
Oh, don't, yeah. I
Chris
want
Bruce,
thank
Chris
you.
Bruce,
I
have you
wanted to
gotten
bring that up.
have you gotten the hit yet, Chris Bruce? I hate AJ Brown. I hate AJ Brown. The second this guy compared himself to To, I was off it. I was get him out of here. Get him out of here. He's a distraction. I said this weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Addition by subtraction. He is the bad kid in the class, rubbing off on everybody else. Get him out of here.
Dude, 4 false starts for a wide receiver has got to be some sort of fine or something. I mean, that's insane. And that to me is just a player not caring, right? I mean, it's a wide receiver false starting that many times just tells me you don't care.
Dude, that's a player so excited because they're going to get another target. Oh, I
Yeah,
can't wait to get off this offensive line.
right. Yeah, I can't wait to get off this offensive line, and then when the ball is thrown to me, I'm going to stop my route.
Oh God, dude, I don't like this guy. I don't like him, man.
Clearly, it's yeah, man, it's going to be an. Now, I will say this.
Listen, dude, listen. We've lost. This is the thing, CDS. We've lost 2 straight games, and nobody has said, "Oh, no." Nobody has even brought up AJ Brown being happy or not happy. How crazy is that? The games that we win,
Accepted.
we talk about. Oh, is he happy? Is he not? But the games that
Yeah.
we lose, oh, it don't even matter.
Well, here's why, and I think you even mentioned it too. Seth Joyner pointed this out, which I agree is AJ Brown hasn't complained after the last 2 games
No, why
because
would
he's
he?
gotten the ball. And that to me is huge. You can't have somebody like that in the locker room. I get how talented he is, everyone. I do. But when you got a guy who is happy if the team loses as long as he gets the ball, not happy if the team wins if he doesn't get the ball enough, that's not a winning formula.
Get him out of
And
here.
with Kevin Patullo's offense, Nick Sirianni, it's just not going to work, man. It's not going to work. So
Yeah, and
my
AJ.
guess is now things can change, but here's my guess: AJ Brown gets traded after June because that's when that big cap hit falls off.
Yeah, AJ Brown, I got news for you, buddy. There are so many freak athletes these days. You're replaceable, bro. Like, it is what it is. There's another AJ Brown coming into the draft. Sorry, you're not a goat of this. You're not. You're just not, pal, buddy, friend. I know you like to think you're on Justin Jefferson. No, you're not, buddy. You're not Chase. You're not, buddy. You're great. You're below that tier, but you're not. Oh man, we can't afford to lose this guy. What are we gonna do? No, dude. Like Devontae Smith is better than
So
you. Just
I was going
Devontae
to say,
Smith is just better than you.
if I have to choose between the two, I want to keep Devontae Smith. Oh man, come on, Chris. Now this is crossing the line, my friend. This is sacrilegious stuff here. Because I was actually, before we went on that tangent about AJ Brown, I was actually going to say the one good thing the Eagles have is this stretch is probably their easiest part of their schedule for the rest of the season. Fingers crossed. And then here Chris comes up and says, "Oh, they're not beating the Raiders."
I'll tell you this
Come on,
right now, dude. If the Eagles don't get at least 5 sacks on the Raiders, it's over. It's over. That offensive line is horrendous. If they can't put pressure on Geno Smith, it's a wrap.
But I mean, they should win. All right, wait, who's the we've got the Raiders, the
Raiders, Commanders,
Commanders
Bills,
twice.
Commanders. Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Commanders. Dude, this team could very well go 2-2. This team somehow is going
No,
to finish 10 and yeah,
no,
yeah.
wait, we've got 5 games left. 5 left.
Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Commanders. Chargers, Raiders,
Chargers. Thank you.
Commanders. Oh, goodness gracious.
So I'm going to say, oh, I'm hoping 4-1, but I'm saying three. I'm going to say 3-2. They got to sweep the Commanders. There's no excuse if they don't. If they don't sweep the Commanders, the Cowboys are going to win the division, and they've got to beat the Raiders. So they've got to win at least 3, which means, by the way, if the Cowboys win out, they'll win the division. You know what is crazy? I don't think a lot of people get, and I think that tie might be throwing them off. And I said this to you before we went live. Uh, the Cowboys are the important column. The Cowboys are only one loss behind the Eagles, one game behind the Eagles in the loss column, and they have the tiebreak.
Mm.
Think about that, right? Because we talk about they have a better division record right now, which they split head to head, so it would go to division. They have a better division record. They're only one game behind in the loss column. Anyone who thinks the Cowboys can't win this division is crazy.
Well, especially the way Eagles are playing.
Well, yeah, and then you add in that.
Yeah, I think we could. I think we split with the Commanders.
I mean, I appreciate this, Chris, because before we even came on, I said to Ben, I said, I don't even know if I can get worked up on this one, Ben, because they've just taken my soul with this effort against the Bears. But now you're turning me into the more positive person when you're telling me we can't beat the Raiders, we can't beat the Commanders.
Yeah, well, I mean, I told you this too. The Commanders are competitive. I mean,
No, they are.
we can
They
split
are.
with them. We can split with them. But that's the thing, man.
No,
I'm looking at this. I mean, the Bills, dude. We gotta hope Josh Allen turns the ball over. Otherwise, dude, this. I don't know how the pendulum swings so far from this defense is elite to this defense has gotten fucking steamrolled
well,
for the last
I was going to say here's the crazy
6
thing.
quarters in a row.
I'm looking at the Bills, and I'm looking at what's happened to our defense the last 2 weeks. My top concern isn't Josh Allen; it's James Cook.
Yep. Yeah, running the ball all
James
over
Cook
us.
rushed for more yards than Josh Allen threw for. No one's talking about that, though. Did you notice? If Saquon rushed for more than Jalen Hurts, I mean, that's all we would be hearing about. If Jalen Hurts turned it over 3 times instead like Matthew Stafford, that's all we'd be hearing about. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's crazy, but at this point, I'm like fingers crossed that Justin is injured and doesn't play in the Chargers game against the Eagles. Yeah, but I'm standing strong on this one, Chris. Yeah, we're going to sweep the Commanders. That's just, and I say we're going to because we have to.
Oh, dude, if we don't sweep the Commanders, we're a 10-win team.
Yeah,
I mean, if we don't at least split with the Commanders, we're a 10-win team.
yeah. And if we're a 10-win team, the Cowboys probably win the division.
It's GG's. No, yeah, no. You're right. I mean, I don't see an offensive
Now that is
explosion.
true. I don't see us because here's the thing. We're not getting the 1 seed. The 2 seed could actually end up us having playing the Cowboys. Yeah, but I don't even think we'd get the 2 seed. So if there's a team that needs the 1 seed just to get a week off, it's us. The fact that we got so utterly embarrassed by the Bears at home, I mean, that even deflates me for a home field advantage. But right now, this is looking like a team that backs into the playoffs and then goes home after the first game. And then it will be a lot of questions in the offseason. And here's the other thing, and I'm going to ask you first, Ben, before I even say. This just popped into my head because obviously it's Philly. Nick Sirianni's been on the hot seat since his first dumb press conference when he was hired. Do you think he's the coach next year if the Eagles go one and done in the playoffs?
Do I think he's the coach if they go one and done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. CDF, if they miss the playoffs, I'm firing him. If they miss the playoffs, I'm firing. If he missed the playoffs, dude, he's not even going to sleep the next day, still having a job.
That's okay. Now I know that's what you would do, but do you think he will be fired if they don't make? Okay, so
I
that's
think he'll be fired if they don't make the playoffs?
yeah. I mean, I know you would, but I would no matter what they would do at this point. But do you think that's what Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman will do? Like, let me put it another way. Do you think there is a line anywhere this season where Nick Sirianni is not back next season?
They lose out.
They lose out. Okay.
No, man. See, I gotta put myself in their shoes.
Yeah, well, why I'm asking it, because it's an interesting question.
Yeah, it has to be they lose out. It has to be they lose out, because if they win a couple games and still miss the playoffs, I think they'll still bring them back. If they lose out, oh, GG, dude. GG. And I'm a Sirianni defender, dude. I'm on my wit's end, personally. I'm at my wit's end with this.
Yeah. No, I know you are. We had that on the live before. You're much more pro Nick than I am.
Yeah,
I'm more pro Saint Nick, not so much pro Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I'm at that wit's end with Sirianni, dude. I was halfway expecting him to go at the fans on Friday, like how we did last season. Just start jawing at the fan. I was expecting that. Maybe galvanize the team a little bit. Like I don't know what, but dude, if they lose out, they need to fire him. They need to fire him.
Well,
if they miss the playoffs after being 8-2, they need to fire him. One and done.
Yeah, honestly, just for how the fans would look at it for that. Like I don't know how you explain that, or I don't know how you get your fan base back on board if they were to lose out and you don't like Sirianni at this point.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. If they lose out, CDS, the only person who stays next year is Fangio. That's it. Everybody else leaves.
Yeah.
Sirianni leaves. Petullo leaves. They all got to get the fuck out of here. Now, let me say something with Kevin Petullo, because they mentioned this on the broadcast. So he was the passing game coordinator, and now he suddenly forgot what the fuck to do in the passing game? How does that happen? How does that even work?
Here would be my question, is what exactly does a passing coordinator do? You know what I mean? Like, does it really actually involve anything that would prepare you for being the offensive coordinator?
Unless it's fucking drawing up plays. Unless the plays are there, he just doesn't know how to call them. Right? Unless he draws up the plays and Kellen Moore's like, oh, these are good plays. I'll call. And there's like, dude, you know how he's like on chapter 1 of the book. He doesn't even know that there are great plays in chapter 10, chapter 11. He just hasn't. He hasn't flipped the book enough.
It's almost like his tendencies are really bad, because we have seen glimpses. We've seen plays here and there where we've all said, oh, where has that been? I like that play design.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. But again, that's why I think it goes back to so much of it influenced by Nick Sirianni. I mean, don't forget, he said it in the very beginning, he talked about how simple that he wants the offense to be, because, our talent's going to win. Well, clearly that's not the case. It's too simple. Everything's too basic. And it can't beat good defenses. Now, here's a question for you, because this is one I have not seen anywhere. I know Chris is going to weigh in, because no one's talking about this, Ben. What is the one thing, the big thing you and I have been talking about that is finally cracking through to some people? That is how bad the offensive line has been, correct? Mm-hmm. You mentioned everyone's gone but Vic Fangio. You know who's not gotten any criticism this year that I've heard about?
The line coach?
Jeff Stoutland. His praises have been sung in Philly for years now, with how good he's a miracle worker with that offensive line.
CDS?
These
guys are done. These guys might be just done. They might be done. He needs new muse to paint with.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
You just said it yourself. Dickerson, Steen. I mean, Mailata looks like a shell of himself.
He does.
Cam Jurgens is always injured.
Yep.
I mean, these guys look done.
Bad.
Slow. Yeah, they look slow. Yeah.
And we have not heard a single thing about any injuries with Mailata, and the dude is not old.
Yeah, Dickerson, Johnson, Mailata, Jurgens, Steen. I'm getting ill thinking about that.
Yeah. Like, dude. But now thinking about the offensive line and everything else, I'm like, can this even be fixed in the offseason? And this is why, and we've talked about this before, this is why I'm so pissed off about the hiring of Kevin Patullo even before all the nonsense.
Window's over.
Ask the Bills, right? Ask the Bills this question. The window to winning Super Bowls is so small. And one of those very rare times you have a shot is when you are the defending champs.
Mm.
You cannot. It is criminal to hire an offensive coordinator who's never called plays before for a defending Super Bowl champion. The Eagles very well could be a 5-win team next year, guys, and then get used to losing. Because to your point, look at all the holes, right? We've talked about that. We thought there was a great defense, but now 2 weeks in a row, look at the run game, right?
Mm.
The offensive line is trash. Well, if we have to replace an entire offensive line, forget upgrading any skill positions, right? I mean, Howie's good, but, come on. So it's like, this is our shot. It could be our last shot for a long time. I guarantee you, back before most of their current fans were born, Cowboys fans were not thinking they'd be running over 30 years before they even sniffed an attempt at a Super Bowl again. I mean, think about that, right? Would they have 3? They won 3 in 4 years. And by the way, and this is a good example too of why I'm like, I think Nick was more along for the ride than anything. Don't forget the Cowboys were so good they won that 3rd Super Bowl with Barry Switzer as their coach, and then he was gone rather quickly because he wasn't a good NFL coach. But the team was just too good to lose. And then we go and I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I do not understand the hiring of Kevin, other than the fact that it was an excuse for Nick to be able to continue to call plays without the heat being on him for calling plays.
Very well could be.
That is what I think is going on. Nick is able to continue to call plays, but he's not the play caller, so he's not getting the heat for it. And if you're Kevin Patullo, honestly, I'm not gonna, crap on the guy for taking the job. Like, maybe the only opportunity he ever got, and he maybe could turn it into something else. I mean, so I'm not going to say, I can't expect Kevin Patullo to get offered the job and be like, oh, no, you know what? I'm not qualified to do that for a team that's going to try and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I wouldn't say that, right? Would you?
No, can't blame him for taking the job.
No.
Just like I don't blame Lane Kiffin for taking the job.
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Oh, yeah. But,
you offer me X million of dollars. Yeah, dude. I'm moving the family. Peace out, friends, family. See ya. I'll take my direct family with me, but everybody else, sorry, man. You guys can
but it doesn't even have to be done until after the season.
Well, the thing is that Ole Miss gave him an ultimatum. Apparently, that's what it is.
And but I agree with them.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But so if you give him an ultimatum, don't be mad when he gives you the answer that you don't like.
Well, right, but
but
it never should have been that way anyway. Like, the whole thing is a mess. The transfer portal being done before season's end is the whole thing's ridiculous. But to Ole Miss's point, though, and this is why I have no problem with them doing that, is you don't want a head coach who's already gone continuing to coach your team, the very good team, for the rest of the season, being in the air of players.
I don't mind either. I don't mind either. I don't mind how either side acted. Go get the money. Don't be mad when they don't let you coach either. you know what I mean? Don't be mad when they say, dude, you're not coaching these kids in the playoff. You're fucking beat. You're not the head coach anymore. See ya. Sayonara, sucker. I don't mind that either.
It's going to be interesting to see, just real quick to finish that up, what happens with LSU and recruiting, because I got to tell you, if I'm a top recruit, that's probably not. I mean, I guess they obviously figured out the players will, but I wouldn't go there because this all actually isn't the first time Lane's pulled stuff like this. As a player, I'd be like, I'm going to go somewhere else where the coach is going to hopefully at least be around a little longer than dropping out during the season on me.
Yeah, I don't think it'll play too much of a difference.
But
like you said, he's done it before. Players have still gone and played for him, and now they're getting money up front. You know, you know, I'll take the
Yeah,
chance with my $1 million fucking NIL deal. Yeah, why
yeah.
not?
I hear what you're saying, Chris, and that is, I mean, it's just like the players that we lost. Everyone, like even now, it's oh, we should have kept this guy, we should have kept that guy. It's impossible to do after you win a Super Bowl because all your guys that are free agents are going to get overpaid offers elsewhere, and you just can't keep everyone. And I get that with the coaching, and that's why I think a lot of people have said we need an experienced offensive coordinator who's old enough that you know that it's not a stepping stone to a head coaching job. When you hire a young offensive coordinator, they are doing that to get a head coaching job. So they're going to be gone as quickly as they can. And obviously, when you win a Super Bowl and you play as well as the Eagles, right, they're going to be gone. I mean, that's what happens. That is probably what the I'd say it's probably the most common other job where head coaches come from in the NFL. But it's kind of like Vic on the defensive side, right? Vic has no desire at this point in his career to turn this into a head coaching job. You know,
I agree.
um, so Doug Peterson, would he be a head coach again? I don't know. That's a good. He might not at this point. I mean, I think so. For some of these guys too, it gets to a point where it's like they don't want the headache. I mean, I think Jimmy Johnson way back when was a good example. I mean, he went to the broadcast booth pretty darn early, right? I mean, Jimmy could have coached for a lot more years, and he went to the broadcast. He got that cushy studio job. He was like, "Yeah, I'm done with the stress of coaching in the NFL."
Yeah.
He made enough money. He won Super Bowls. I agree, Chris. You're right. I mean, ultimately, it becomes Jeffrey and Howie, right? They allowed all of this. They hired Nick. They allowed Nick to hire Kevin. So that's ultimately where it falls. So, but wait, which game's this Monday night? That's the
Giants Pats.
no, I'm sorry. Next Monday, the Eagles game. We're on Monday, right? Next week. I think we're Monday, unless I'm losing my mind.
Yep. 8:15. Mm-hmm.
Huh?
8:15. Monday
Okay.
night.
Yeah. Next. So that's a lot of prep time, man. That's almost like, well, I won't say a bye week, but going
Yeah,
from
9
Friday
days.
to
8
Monday, that's a pretty good amount of time. So, but then again, one of our worst performances ever was after the bye week.
Yeah.
Unlike Andy Reid, man. Andy Reid doesn't lose after a bye week, except to us in the Super Bowl. But when he was in Philly, he never lost. He didn't lose after bye weeks.
Hmm.
Prep, but yeah, man. I don't know. That's about I think I'm about all tapped out at this point.
Yeah. That's about it. Chris Bruce, I appreciate you hanging out with us today, bro.
Yeah, thanks for all the interaction, Chris, man. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, all right, man. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Thank you, BDP. Go to BDP Talks Football.
Indeed,
Um,
indeed.
yeah, and I will. We'll talk to y'all soon. We'll recover from this. We're gonna go win next Monday, no doubt.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Take it easy.
Appreciate